What's going on, everybody? It's McFly here. So today we are going to be watching episode 6 of the She-Hulk series. I'm hoping that this one's going to keep continuing in the same direction that episode 5 was. It didn't rely so heavily on cameos. You know, it had a kind of a good flow between her personal life and the lawyering parts of the show. We had some more of Pug. We had some more of her friend Nikki. All that I really enjoyed. I thought the comedy hit. I didn't think they went over the top with any of the woke stuff. Basically, I just think it was pretty overall balance. And I think, in my opinion, it was probably the best episode of the show so far. They did hint at Daredevil, so I'm going to assume he's going to be in this episode. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into the episode. I still think it's funny that they do a previously on for this show.
If She-Hulk had instead presented
I feel like this guy's going to end up dating Jen. But I know in the comics, Matt Murdock and Jen dated, so I'm hoping that happens. I think that would be a pretty cool dynamic to have them date. I mean, look, they're acting like she's kind of ugly in the show, which I don't understand, but he's blind, so he don't care. Somebody said in another reaction, I think it was to the last episode, where they were like, they're treating Jen like she's Meg from Family Guy. Shut up, Meg.
Shut up, Meg.
I just think that was a pretty good comparison to how they've been treating her. Nice little planter. Oh, it's a card, an invitation. I didn't see who it said.
I want to see the super suit that he made you.
So do I. I want to see it.
Look at the dress that Luke made me for the rehearsal dinner.
What? Yeah. Oh my god. So you're gonna look hot as Shulky?
Hey, they finally said Shulky. That's what she's called a lot in the comics.
Lulu's an old friend from high school. She's like, she knows my whole family. My cousin Chet is DJing the wedding.
What?
Yes, well, we
Cousin Chet.
Why are you a bridesmaid?
Probably because you're a celebrity now.
It's gonna give me the opportunity to work so much closer with Miss Mallory.
Yes, it's a self-contained wedding episode. And if you think this is happening at an inconvenient time in the season, you're right, because that's how weddings always are.
Self-contained, huh? That means no Daredevil? Y'all are making me mad with that. Let's see. There you go. Never look hotter than the bride. Know this.
It's just working.
Thank you, Heather.
Your ass looks crazy right now.
I can't believe you're doing this to me. What? Taking all the attention away from me with your... This. I don't want you to be all hulky at my wedding. Promise?
I promise. I will just show up as regular Jen at your wedding.
Come on, nothing wrong with getting some boobs in your face. I'm glad she's embracing being She-Hulk right now.
Yeah, obviously, this is the one time I didn't want to show up as just Jen.
I feel like just Jen, attorney at law.
You're gonna be walking with Jonathan. He's gonna be at the ceremony tomorrow.
Jonathan, I love him. Jonathan is literally the best.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Who's Jonathan?
All right, Mr. Hollis.
Mr. Immortal.
What?
Didn't you say your name was Craig Hollis?
It is, but I go by Mr. Immortal.
Again, they're doing a cameo of having Mr. Immortal in the show. Is it actually him, though? He said his name's Craig Hollis, so...
Suffocating me, and you wear weird pajamas. Can you blame me for
Weird pajamas.
putting an end to the whole issue right then and there? I don't kill myself. I'm immortal, so I can't die.
I guess it really is Mr. Immortal.
Worry about the government.
Because he does it every single time.
Clear insurance claim after any of the ends are switching identity.
He just kills himself after every confrontation. All right. The leader of the Great Lakes Avengers is here. Made him really old, though.
Hey, Jen.
Why is she here?
So good to see you. I love that you never make any effort at all.
What are you doing here?
Not everything is about you, Jennifer.
She knows how to push her buttons, that's for sure. I'm drawing a blank on her name, but the actress who plays Titania looks way different in the show. She does a really good American accent. It's very good.
Did they give you a +1 for this? Because I do not understand the metrics they used to decide.
Yeah, they didn't, but I don't mind. See, my plan was to strike up a very normal conversation with a beautiful woman stuffing her face with candy nuts. And I'm very good at
Clean some stuff up around here, straighten up, take up some of these empties, like tidy up.
Well, that was rude. Making her put her on cleanup duty.
I will get you the best possible deal under the circumstances. Don't touch me. But let me tell you this. You're gonna have to pay.
You don't let people be assholes.
You're on ironing duty, right?
I am?
Yeah. Go bride squad. Thank you so much. Amazing.
Okay.
Jen,
Oh,
your
my
groomsman
God.
is here.
He's here. Jonathan is here.
Jen, you're so lucky. Look who you get
to walk down the aisle with.
He's so brave. We just had to resuscitate him this morning.
Jonathan. Of course.
What is happening to her? Why does she get treated like garbage all the time?
Sebastian, how about this? I still have all those Apple shares I bought in 1981, plus all the gold left to me by my first wife, Baroness Cromwell. How about we split it evenly 8 ways and call it a day?
Very fair.
We were married for 18 years and she was only with him for 3. Why should she get the same amount as me?
Because I had a kid with this fool.
Why should we be punished for her mistake?
My son is not a mistake.
You use the word mistake.
Oh, yo, what's going on, my party people? It's your boy,
Obnoxious horn effect.
Jazz funeral so chic. I love your style. Taylor, you are gonna receive back pay for the 2 years that you quit your job to help Paul run a rare jade shop in Piedmont. Cheryl, cash money. You want it? You get it.
Yeah.
Amy,
Yes.
you are going to receive a sincere apology with the meaningful eye contact. Oh,
Thank you.
Look at Nikki being a star right here.
Miss Ramos.
Unconventional and excellent.
Nikki's a star. Come on.
For weeks or months or days or whatever.
He's in space.
Had my brain on way too much of this wedding stuff, you know, big dumb marriage and love.
So you're romantic? That's what it is?
You're romantic.
I just wanted to come to one wedding and show that I was actually doing pretty good. I just wanted to be amazing today.
I don't know. I think you're pretty great.
I dearly hope this guy doesn't have an ulterior motive. Please. Finally, somebody just like her for her. Please. She deserves it. Jesus.
Obviously, I literally said this isn't over. So now I am going to publicly destroy you. Are you not gonna turn?
You know what? I can take you like this.
Promised her friend.
Oh no, I forgot how to do it.
I like how that fits her perfectly.
We got a wedding fight!
Chat. Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a broken nose. Or all her teeth are broken.
Are you showing your 11 followers on Instagram? Oh my god.
She-Hulk is at my wedding. Yeah. I love you so much.
She's drunk as hell.
You're married?
11 years this October.
To who?
The day after my son's birthday.
Hold on. You have children? You have a child. You have kids. Mallory book us.
That's enough questions.
Okay. Oh. This is what? What is this? Mal, how do we kill She-Hulk? This is dark.
We gotta talk to Jen.
No, do not.
Tell her anyways, Nikki. Don't listen to Mallory.
These like memes and death threats, okay? But Mallory said
There
not
you
to tell
go.
you because, you know, she said it would just make you feel bad and we should protect your headspace and let you live your life, but obviously I didn't do that. It's probably
Yeah, it's it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm getting in there.
Careful, don't hurt yourself.
Oh, well.
Who is it? I want to know. Show the person. Suspense is annoying. Wait, did they get somebody's blood? I'm so confused. There's supposed to be end credit scenes for every single episode, but they took it out of the last one. I'm gonna wait for this one. And of course, there was no Daredevil. Because this was a wedding episode that had nothing to do with the rest of the show, really. That was the bride kissing Chet, wasn't it? Jamila, that was her name. She looks way different in this show. She does a really good English accent. It's extremely convincing. There's 5 minutes left. What is it? It's the Georgia Peach. There is not. Again. So that was episode 6 of the She-Hulk show. I'm a little bit indifferent about it. They were catching a good momentum with episode 5, in my opinion, and they kind of did it kind of a separate story episode, like a filler episode. I do like that Jen is kind of embracing her She-Hulk a little bit more. I'm very curious about this Josh guy. I hope he is legitimately into her and not part of the people trying to get her blood. I have a feeling that's what he's about. because Jen can never be happy, right? I am upset that there was no Daredevil in this, especially when they teased it last episode, and I figured that meant that he was going to be in this episode. I think it was still better than the first few episodes. I don't think it was better than the last episode. I think I gave the last episode an 8. They did bring in Mr. Immortal in here, which is pretty cool. A little bit different take on the character, made him a little bit of an asshole. I think he's like that in the comics a little bit, but not to this extent. Again, part of the narrative of the show, making all men pretty asshole-ish. That's cool that he's in this. And I'm curious to see if they're gonna kind of expand on that or not. I do know, like I said while the episode was going, that he's the leader of the Great Lakes Avengers, which is based in Milwaukee. The founding members there include Flatman, Doorman, Big Bertha, Dinosaur, and Leatherboy. I don't think we're gonna see any of those in this show. He aids the Thunderbolts, who at that point clash with Deadpool, so that could be kind of how they're going to bring in Deadpool into this. He was kind of a big character in the comics. I'm curious to see if he's still going to be in this, or if they're kind of just making him like a one-off character for this show. But I do know that the Great Lakes Avengers were part of Secret Invasion as well, which we know is going to be an all-encompassing movie. It's going to be massive, the amount of characters that are going to be in it. Yeah, I think he's going to be... In the comics, he was key. I don't know if he's going to be key in... moving forward in the MCU, but he is in this episode and it's same name, everything, so that's pretty cool. So while I was editing this video, I noticed that the microphone went out. I don't know what happened. I think the issue with this show is a lot of us were expecting like not great things, but we wanted a show that was going to do justice for She-Hulk. We wanted it to be comic book accurate. We wanted it to be entertaining. We wanted it to be something that like kind of a different show for the MCU, which it technically is, but something that would kind of perk our heads up and be like, oh, this is interesting. And unfortunately, in my opinion, it's not interesting enough for a lot of people to stay engaged. I consider this kind of like a filler show to introduce us to Jen. I really don't think it needs to be 9 episodes. And I know when with this first started, I said I was happy it's 9 episodes, but I saw the show going a completely different way. I just think I think I like the idea of having a fun sitcom type show where it's only episodic and not really an entire story. But even with sitcoms, like Friends is one of my favorite sitcoms, right? How I Met Your Mother, Seinfeld, all those shows, they still have, a contained story within each episode, and then that all kind of leads to character development, character changes, even if subtle, throughout the whole entire series, right? I'm just not, I'm seeing it, but I'm not seeing it at the level I want to see it. I don't think we need 6 episodes of Jen battling with being She-Hulk. I feel like if we get rid of all the randomness from some of the episodes, this entire episode, honestly, besides her kind of embracing being She-Hulk, was kind of unnecessary. I mean, the whole dynamic with Nikki and Mallory was fine. I feel like that's cool to see, but I don't think it's a necessity for the show. We came to this show for 2 things. We came to this show for She-Hulk and Jen, and we came to this show for Daredevil. And when we sway away from Jen getting the spotlight and how she's kind of her character's being built, I think we're doing the character disjustice, especially an injustice, especially when these episodes are only like 30 minutes if you don't include the credits. So I just think we're at episode 6. This is episode 6 just finished, and there's no more. I wonder where the show is going to go. This is how the show is going to be, and it's kind of a disappointment. I do think maybe outside of even Falcon Winter Soldier show was better. I still think this is the worst MCU show we've got so far. While I'm enjoying this more than I enjoyed Miss Marvel, I think the only issue I had with Miss Marvel was that it wasn't really catered to me. It was more catered to like the teens, preteens type of thing. So I think that show was good for what it was. It just wasn't my cup of tea. This show is supposed to be catered to, millennials. It's supposed to be catered to the 27 to 35-year-olds, which is where I lie. And it's just, yeah, it's funny here and there. If this show didn't exist and we got She-Hulk and another thing and introduce a character another way, I feel like I would be fine with that. Not having this show is it is what it is. It's a fun escape from reality for 30 minutes, and then 5 minutes later, I don't really care or even really remember the episodes. There's little nitbits here and there throughout the show that I do remember. I remember Madison and Wong. I remember all that stuff. The fight between her and Bruce, I remember all that stuff. I think it really sucks that they had the momentum from episode 5 and they squashed it by doing this filler episode that has nothing to do with the previous one. I'm not the writers here. I think, like I said in the last video, I think Feige is kind of starting to give directors and writers a blank check and not trying to manipulate or manage each of these shows and movies now. So we're starting to see some stuff falling off the tracks a little bit. I've yet to see Thor: Love and Thunder. That's probably going to be one of my next reaction videos, but from what I'm hearing, it was too much Taika. I love Taika. He's one of my favorite directors. But I can see how he can kind of be too wacky. So I just think we need to reel this in a little bit. Reel in the MCU a little bit now. We're getting to the point where it's too much of everything. It's too much comedy, even when there needs to be seriousness. There's too much weirdness. There's too much stuff that doesn't make sense, or spiting a character to make it funny when it doesn't really need to be funny. Spiting a character to push some sort of narrative, whatever it is, whether it's girl power, man power, whatever. There's faults in every single narrative that's trying to be pushed or not pushed. Just want to go on the record to say I'm not trying to say, oh, all the woke stuff is bad. Some of it is bad, some of it is good. Some of the stuff that's not woke is bad as well. And some of the stuff that's not woke is good as well. And by the way, I use the word woke because it's the easiest way to explain what I'm talking about. I don't really see the MCU as being woke in a negative connotation. I do think they're being pretty good about inclusion, and I commend that. We need to reel this in here. I'll be watching the next few episodes. I do want to see Daredevil come in, and I was thinking yesterday after I watched this episode about how Daredevil's going to fit in, and from what I'm seeing, what he tells her in the mid-series trailer about kind of realizing she can use both of her personalities, for lack of a better term, to her advantage. I feel like that's going to be her coming of age moment where she realizes She-Hulk can help me, which is where this whole show, it seems like, is going, is her accepting that. So if that is when Daredevil comes in, when Matt Murdock comes in, that would be episode 9, guys. So did we get duped with the, the trailer showing Daredevil, and that's the very last episode of the series? Could they have done that to us? I think a lot of people are going to be upset that they hinted at it in the trailers. They hinted at it in episode 5, and we had to wait till episode 9 to get him in there. I was watching my review of it when I was recording here, and I gave it a 7. I don't think I can give it a 7. I have to give it a 6. And if I could go back honestly to episode 3 and all that, I would probably rate them lower than I did. This was a show. Definitely is a show. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I just thought it was fine. It was a watch. I watched something today. But anyways, I appreciate all of you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Again, my name's McFly, and please do remember that good vibes are contagious.